Hi everybody, Ali Akbari, your resident road safety expert, back again for another Q&A. Thank you very much for sending in your questions. And as I always say, please send in more and more questions. We love to answer them. We love to give you more information and make sure that the industry is well educated and providing the best solutions out for the clients. And as I always say, please hit that subscribe button. It looks like something like this down there. We'd love your support. We want to hit 1,000 subscribers and we'd love your support around that. We want to make sure more and more Australians are having great, safe, independent transport, and subscribing to our channel will hopefully head towards that direction. So today's question is nice and simple, nice and quick, and pretty easy. And it comes in from an OT once again. And this one is actually an OT from Queensland. So this is actually really relevant to what they're asking because there is Queensland specific laws around this and also Australia-wide laws. So they've asked around the Australian standards related to transporting people in a wheelchair. I'm going to put a link below to that Australian standards so you can access that whenever you like. It's a great document and it is the go-to document for us in terms of the standard for occupants in a wheelchair. So it is important that we access that and have it available. So I'm going to put a link down below and you can have it whenever you like. So the question is the Australian standards related to transporting in a wheelchair within a vehicle legislated as law? So this actually depends on the state and the jurisdiction that you're in. So first of all, this person that's asked around it has come from Queensland. And in Queensland has been very, very good in this area and has provided a lot of progressive, work in this area. And they have worked together to put this Australian standard as law. So it is required that you are in all ways, in all vehicles, compliant with the Australian standard. So important to access that Australian standard before down there below. And it's important that the engineer or certifier or approved person that is signing off on that vehicle modification is aware of that Australian standards because that's what they're going to be signing off on. However, other states and other jurisdictions have different regulations. So what I will do is I'll explain to you how that regulation structure works. And you can contact your state and get that information out of there and just confirm whether or not that's actually the case. So the way it works, this standard is applicable to the vehicle and also gives you guidelines for how the person needs to be set up. So when we modify a vehicle, we need to contact the state authority or make sure we are modifying it in conjunction with their rules. So in some states such as Western Australia, Western Australia, Victoria, New South Wales. Those three states you have, and actually ACT, as well as Tasmania. In those 4 states or 5 states, you have independent certifying people, someone like myself, who are able to sign off on these standards, and they will tell you whether or not the Australian standard is applicable. In New South Wales, it is indirectly applicable. The law doesn't say yes, you have to meet it, but there are sub-laws that say you have to meet it. So that is something that is causes sometimes a bit of confusion, and we're actually clarifying that situation in New South Wales. In other states, they may not have picked it up, and we do not want to talk on behalf of other certifiers in other states. We just say that the most important thing you have to be aware of is you do need to, when you modify your vehicle, you do need to get it certified by a state authority, and they will advise you whether or not it meets the Australian standards. In Queensland, it definitely does. In New South Wales, it does. We believe in Victoria, it's working towards it. In the sort of commercial space, in terms of taxis and all that kind of stuff, definitely it meets it. And in general, in most parts of the country, you do need to have in the commercial sense, you do need to meet the Australian standards. It's only in the smaller vehicles where there is a bit of a question mark around it. So check with your local authority and your local certifiers and you'll be all good and they'll check it out for you and make sure you're all compliant. So thanks for the question. Thank you for tuning in. As we say, always send us your questions. We're happy to answer them and we're happy to get them online. And last but not least, please hit that subscribe button that looks something like this. We'd love your support to hit those 1,000 subscribers. And thanks very much for tuning in and we'll see you at the next Q&A.